But it's changed now, girl. Gotta tell you how I feel. I just gotta tell you now. I just gotta tell you how. I just gotta tell you how I feel. Don't ignore something you need. You won't find this love again.
I called Rogue and I said, I got a story for you. And she's like, what? I said, I hate cheap cases. She goes, yeah, that's not new. I said, yeah, but I really hate cheap cases. And she's like, what happened? I said, I've just spent the past 2+ hours screwing with this cheap piece of junk. And she goes, you changed cases, didn't you? I said, yeah. She goes, did you grab one of the coursers? I said, I did. She goes, how easy was that? I said, it took 20 minutes and I was done. It was the freaking easiest thing in the world. I cannot begin to tell you how much I hate cheap cases. If you're doing a budget build and money is tight, the 4000D is fine. It's $80. It's a reasonable price. They do make a Threadripper Pro. However, a 32-core Zen 3 based 5975. Here it is.
I pay attention. Okay, here we go. I disagree, even in 2023, currently playing AAA titles like the Call of Duty, Starfield, Red Redemption 2, between 60 to 120 FPS, medium to high settings on an i7-4790K and a GTX 1080 Ti. And this is the best graphics card upgrade for an older i7 CPU. That's an older video.
If you think an i7-4790K and a 1080 Ti is all anybody needs for Starfield, and first of all, why are you watching tech videos? Your attitude seems to be, I bought computer, I never upgrade computer. Computer lasts forever. It's fine. I mean, you know, if that's all you can afford or that's what you've got, use it. But this is coming from somebody who tested 35 games at 1440p on an i7-4790K with a 2080 Ti, which is really overpowered for it. It was CPU bottlenecked most of the time, but it is remarkably functional if you're willing to accept a lot of little imperfections. Slower game launch and load times, 1% low hitches, a little bit of micro stutter. It's a degraded experience, but it works. It plays. But don't turn around and say, oh, it's fine. There's no reason to get anything better. What? This is absolutely fine. Everything's great. No, it isn't. Take it from somebody who's driven all the cars. I have no reservations about installing a future Ryzen 9 5970,000X. Cases would be hard to do. Cases are such a highly personal choice. A lot of that is aesthetics. Some of you like cases that I personally have zero interest in, and that is okay. If you don't like the two cases I had on the desk and you want something completely different, it is your computer. Personal computers are personal. You can build it however it pleases you. It's your money. You absolutely should not do what I say if it doesn't make you happy. That doesn't make any sense. Unless it comes to things like CPU and RAM and SSD selection, in which case you should listen to me. Because if I can be blunt, I've used more SSDs than about 500 of you combined. You know, as a side note, I'm sure somebody's going to say, why aren't the Threadripper boxes on the desk? Because I sold them because they're obsolete. And people are going to go, oh, but do you know how much I spent on that? Yeah, you bought a super premium processor that was great for about 18 months, and then it wasn't. And then it was okay for 18 months after that. And then after 3 years, you need to sell it. How am I supposed to sell it if nobody's supposed to buy it? Not everybody watches my videos. Plenty of people will buy it. They shouldn't, but they will. The i5 really does crush it. It's amazing. 2022 is not 2016. We started our YouTube channel in 2016, and in 2016, AMD wasn't part of the conversation, and Intel was slow rolling 4-core chips after 4-core chips after 4-core chips after 4-core chips after 4-core chips. Next, we need some system RAM, and this is going to be a choice I imagine more than one of you is going to disagree with. Please do so in the comment section. It boosts engagement. 64 gigabytes of DDR4 3600 CL18 for $160 provides enough RAM for today and tomorrow, so you never again have to think about it. The idea of leaving your other game running while you open another game to play is not the kind of thing that I think a lot of people think of. In fact, I've seen a lot of posts from people who still say they still close everything on their machine because their mindset is like 10 or 15 years ago, back when we had 1 or 2 gigs of RAM. And if you didn't close everything, shut everything down, get everything out of the task tray, then your computer ran like crap. Mm-hmm. But you know what happens when you have a Ryzen 9 with 64 gigs of RAM? You just run everything.
Yeah, LU said 100% I upgraded from 32 gigs to 64 gigs, and it wasn't until then I realized Warzone wasn't smooth. After the upgrade, the game is now running smooth in the load screen with 64 gigs.
I upgraded from 32 to 64, and it wasn't until then I realized Warzone wasn't smooth. People say, my game runs fine. No, it doesn't. I've seen people argue that Warzone runs fine on their 4-core, 4-thread i5. No, it doesn't. Well, but I play it. Yeah, you haven't seen smooth. 64 gigabytes provides enough to allow you to keep everything open, have background services running, and accommodate the next generation of games with zero worry that you'll run short. Yes, 32 gigabytes is enough for a lot of people today. The 64 gigabytes is a reflection of the idea that you shouldn't settle for good enough, rather you should ask for enough that I don't have to care.
Life is good, but it can be better.
7-zip is our first test, and we've broken out the compressing, decompressing, and total numbers for those of you who are, for those, we've broken out the total numbers for, you know, I've spoken English my entire life. All the words in the script are English. I wrote the script, and yet the words are not in the order in which the speaking should be happening. 16 E-cores are impressive, however they are not quite enough to overcome the extra 8 P-cores the 7950X enjoys versus a 19 5000K. It's over 9,500K! Hang on, it's Batman. First try. Now that will be linked below as well if you'd like to see what a fancy pop. My darling, we have a fancy press kit down below. Now this build will have 32 gigabytes of DDR5 5200 thanks to it being, what should you build this PC with? 30. I feel like I have cotton balls in my throat. Is that your phone?
Yes.
And it's making noise because?
It does that?
And should it be doing that?
Yeah.
No.
It doesn't. It would be broken.
But it needs to not do that. Did you mute it?
Yeah.
Okay. We're filming a video. Having said that, allow me to give you a minor spoiler review from our i9 13900K.
13900K.
Shut up. Having used that machine, did a full install Windows, installed games, played games, I spent several days with it. Not if I don't have to. Holy freaking smokes. The minute you open multiple windows, the minute more than one thing's going on, and the minute Windows Update plus game updates are trying to happen, the machine slows to a crawl. It's fine so long as you never break the resource barriers that chip has. And I really do think people should buy computers to last more than 1 or 2 years. And if you're buying a computer in 2019, 2020, 8 cores was the way to go. 6 for ultra budget, but 8 was the way to go. Today, I'm not excited about 8 cores at all. I think the 8-core era, I mean, for Pete's sakes, we got $300 8-core chips back in 2017. That was 6 years ago. Let's get on with it now. We've got 16 and 24-core chips. 12 is a nice round number. I think the 14 on the 13600K is a nice round number. I look forward to reading the comment section of this. If you got to this point, 3 gold stars for all of you. This might or might not be the smartest video I do all week. To be fair, Infinite Warfare came out in 2016, so that helps a lot when it comes to performance. Battlefield 5 came out in 2018, which is why the reasons is it's the
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
new games are harder to run, film at 11.